There's a project that's been bouncing around in my head for a long time. Much like most others, I have lots of ideas that come to me, and there's a universe that slowly begins to surface when you put all the details together. In most scenarios, a world by itself is not a story, it's a setting. Regardless, understanding the meaning of that world, the rules, and its laws, it's important for consistency in a narrative. So what if there was a vault? One where all that hidden information would be stored, even the things that aren't really important to be seen yet. Little secrets and hints here and there that lead into other topics. What if a little Discord community of barely 100 people unlocked it? Welcome to The Vault, a text-based strategy and puzzle console-style game. If you've seen my other videos, you've probably caught a glimpse of its logo in the corner. The Vault is full of information about another universe with its own laws, its own principles, histories, and dynamic moving facets. The conflict arises in the fact that the Vault, in-universe, was built with no function to help you search. In order to find something in the Vault, you must know exactly what you're looking for. There are minor exceptions to this, but the inner workings of the Vault do not expose themselves easily. Since it exists in both reality and in the universe it reveals, what's the connotation of unlocking the Vault? Hi. Thanks so much for letting me borrow your screen. I think this world kind of sucks, so let's build a new one. If you're looking to follow along, there will be a link in the description to download the Vault. It's free on Steam. When you first open the Vault, you'll be offered the ability to log in, or to enter as a guest. Likely you'll be playing as a guest while exploring and discovering the application, but this comes with a contingency. Each different login offers you a certain level of clearance, and each prompt that you can input will require a specific level of it. The Vault will not tell you what clearance you have, but you're able to figure out what's what and where through trial and error. Now it should be stated, there's no way to create a login. Rather, the application was used by several characters that exist in-universe, and gaining clearance is a game of finding access to their logins. Each one will have varying clearance levels, and you'll be able to use this to your advantage. There's two huge starting points I've witnessed users take into consideration. The first one, somewhat obviously, is the help menu. By typing help into the search bar, it'll give you a list of practical prompts that, rather than giving you data basic information, will modify the user experience in some way. Though the application explains how each one works, it's not always intuitive how they function on a practical level. But to get started, we'll talk about the basic ones. Using logout will get you back into the login screen to change users. More importantly, while you're in such a login screen, you can type forgot instead of a password to log in through a series of security questions. And this leads us to our second important asset, the Steam page. Many astute observers have discovered that there's a lot of information to be found from outside of the game, and this is absolutely by design. There are two character logins that have already been discovered through the Steam page alone, Wellington Brum and Andrew M. Parker. We'll talk more about the relevance of these characters later, but the important part is that there's public footage of them logging in. With this alone, you can gather enough information to log in as either one of these members. With just these two characters, you can actually access most of the Vault, but it would take some clever ingenuity to figure out exactly how. And not everyone has yet. Now, let me be frank with you. There are a lot of things in this Vault that exist prior to the Vault, and there's a lot of people who were in the community before the Vault was created, and they're going to have a little bit of extra information when it comes to things like this. They're going to have prompts that they know to put in without ever even using the Vault. And that's one of the reasons that the community is such a helpful asset when it comes to trying to depict things. When you're looking for prompts or have no idea where to start, there is a number of people that are very, very aware of a lot of things and can definitely help to get started. Now we know how this program functions on a basic level. Let's talk about where we can get started to go from unlocking it to blowing the whole thing open. Before we get too far into what the Vault even is as a thing, make sure to check out the Discord. Normally this is where I'd tell you to go subscribe or whatever, but if you're going to do anything, I think it would be a good idea to check out the Discord at this point. I think that's where you're going to find the most information on this subject in particular. But, you know, back to the video! I've dropped a handful of hints in different places for the community to pick up on, whether that be on Twitch, here on YouTube, and most of all, the Discord. Now, before I get too much into where the Vault appears and where hints may appear on other social platforms, I do want to say that the prompts that you've seen on YouTube videos for things like Invincible and the other videos that I've done, they are not in the vault purely for aesthetic purposes, to make sure that nobody gets conflicted or confused about that. That is a stylistic choice. First huge release on the vault publicly was with the first episode of the Vault series, where we see Wellington Brum interacting with an automaton named Boris. Within these interactions, we watch him test out several different prompts, each one revealing in their own way. From this first episode, we find prompts like Miramyth and String to start us off, and within the text we see, there's more little tidbits to take away and potentially use for more prompts. Some community members have found massive amounts of information just from this, posting webs of subjects in the Discord. Absolutely insane and astute discoveries. Honestly, I'm kind of dumbfounded. The Discord, of course, is another huge asset if you're looking for leads. In the Discord, there's a channel named after the Vault, specifically designed for members to discuss their findings. When this channel was first created, I set a pinned message for some starting prompts for those who were curious. I'm going to focus on Godslayer and Quatrin, as they're a bit special in comparison to the rest of these. With most queries that you input into the Vault, you'll need to use exact nomenclature. It won't consider misspellings, and you need to use full names when available. If you don't know what to look for, well, the Vault doesn't help. But of course, this wouldn't even be a topic if there weren't exceptions. If you type in Quatrin or Godslayer, the Vault will show you multiple prompts. These are both accurate names for multiple different entities, some of which are objects and some of which are people in this case. You can use this to your advantage from time to time. Though you can't necessarily access every file that's listed, it gives you huge leads on what you may be looking for. There are 6 people within the Quatrin name. The Godslayer is the title of a blade, but is also the title of a person named Surreal Windkeeper. Now, I could go on with the rabbit hole that this may lead you down, but I'll leave that for you. I know that if you're curious, you'll find your way to it. This project is very important to me. It wasn't meant to be something that was overly public, but I'm very excited to see it slowly gaining traction. Obviously, there's a lot of lore tucked away in the Vault, and you can find bits and pieces of the lore within content that exist outside of it. It exists both in narrative and in reality, meaning characters in-world actually use this program. But knowing that, I ask you, since it exists in reality and in the reveals, what's the connotation of unlocking the Vault? Thank you so much for watching this video. I want you to know that this project is actually like really important to me, and it was built to be for the community and only for our small little community to check out, and it ended up getting a lot more attention than I expected it to, and I'm so happy that you guys are here. So if you do check it out, comment, let me know what you think of it. And if you're looking for something else to watch, don't worry, I have you covered. I know you were curious about that. Don't worry. Bestie, I got you. Button on the left if you want to check out another video that was handcrafted just for you, literally only and specifically you. Or the one on the right if you want to check out a playlist of more videos like this one, usually about other stuff like Invincible or Has Been Hotel. I love saying those keywords so YouTube algorithm likes me. That's fine. Okay, I love you. Bye. Thanks.